Shri Shri Anandamayi Ma ki Jai. Although I had heard from various people about what had transpired in connection with Diksha initiation on the occasion of the last Guru Purnima day, I was most keen to learn of this firsthand from Ma's own mouth. Consequently, when the reading of scriptures ended today at 11 a.m. during Satsang, I asked her point blank, "Ma, I have not yet had the chance of hearing from your own lips about the events that took place during the recent Guru Purnima." Ma, laughing, "Oh, you referred to all that? It is nothing very special. One night, 2 or 3 days prior to Guru Purnima, I noticed that some persons had arrived and were standing behind me. I was busy conversing with others in front of me, but I was well aware of these new arrivals. One of them was this body's Ma's elder paternal cousin. He had died long ago. He used to be a doctor and was very serious-minded. When he married for the second time, this body must have been about 11 or 12 years old. I did not even know him very well. That night he approached this body saying, 'Please give me something.' That is, he meant, give me initiation by mantra. I told him, this body does not normally initiate anybody. In reply, he pointed to the people present before me and said, 'If any of these persons who are here with you will write a mantra on a bay leaf and will let you touch it, this will be quite sufficient for the purpose.' Thus, he himself explained of his own accord how exactly this could be accomplished. This body at once uttered the words very well. Thenceforth, this body has been carrying out just what has been described above. Someone writes the name of Hari on tulsi leaves, then strings a garland out of these leaves to present to this body. This garland is usually given away to someone else. Abani Sharma Baba often writes seed mantras on bay leaves and places them on this body's head or hands. These leaves are then given away by this body to certain people. However that may be, I explained everything to Didi and said, 'I seem to have committed myself. So you must remember to bring this to my khayal on Guru Purnima day. Also, do something else. Write seed mantras of Shiva and Shakti with red sandalwood paste on bay leaves and Vishnu mantras with white sandalwood paste on tulsi leaves.' Although I did not specify which particular mantras to write, Didi had previously heard several seed mantras from me, so she decided which mantras to write on bay leaves. That same day, I saw that some bay leaves had been carefully set aside in one place and some tulsi leaves elsewhere. Furthermore, the Kumaris of the ashram were preparing sandal paste. Also, Didi was writing with red sandalwood paste on bay leaves. Then she got hold of some tulsi leaves, cleaned them carefully, but could not make up her mind what to write on them. So she left them as they were and went away. But all this I perceived on a subtle plane, not in the physical. In the night before Guru Purnima, I was lying in bed, but could not go to sleep. I was merely turning from one side to the other. I had no inclination to sleep for the past few nights. My cot had been placed out in the courtyard. I lay there for some time, then went upstairs to lie down on the first floor. Shortly after, I heard the girls sing Kirtan, so I understood that it must be early morning. It had been Didi's desire to dress this body up and do puja on Guru Purnima days. But in the morning when I came downstairs, I told her this was not to be. I also entered the newly built Viraj Mandir and told Bishu the same thing and then went upstairs to sleep. When Didi realized her aspiration had no chance of being fulfilled, she arranged for the worshipping of the outlines of my feet, of which prints had been taken some time ago, and then went to the kitchen to cook. Because on that day a considerable number of people had been invited to partake of prasad, she thus completely forgot what I had requested her to remind me of concerning the diksha of certain disembodied beings. Meanwhile, I was lying on my bed in the morning when I noticed that my paternal cousin had arrived. This time his wife was with him. As soon as I saw them, I sent Udas to fetch Didi. The amazing part of the story is that no sooner had I had this khayal than Didi remembered my previous instruction and ran to contact me even before Udas could reach her. Thereafter, I went with her to the new mandir. Didi quickly wrote with sandalwood paste a Shiva seed mantra and a Shakti seed mantra on 2 bay leaves. When she had done this, she asked, "What shall I now do with these?" I also echoed, "Yes, what shall we do with them?" Didi remarked, "It will be better to place these leaves on the waters of Ganga." I said, "Yes, this is all right." Thereafter, Didi started cleaning tulsi leaves, but her mind became restless. She was worried that some of the food she had put on the stoves for cooking might get charred. Just then, someone came to call Didi. She placed the tulsi leaf into Bishu's hands and went away. On receiving the leaf, Bishu asked me what seed mantra he should write on it. I told him, "You worship Narayan, so you may write some such seed mantra on the tulsi leaf." He complied and then placed the leaf in my hands. I returned it to him. This same Bishu had received 3 seed mantras from this body 6 years ago in a dream. He remembered 2 of the mantras, but the third he had entirely forgotten. He used to speak of this to this body from time to time, but as I had no khayal to reply, I had not explained anything further to him. Once, when he raised the subject again at Vindhyachal, this body instructed him to continue his japa of the 2 seed mantras he remembered. Up to date, this was what he had been doing. Today, when I returned the tulsi leaf to him, he suddenly intuitively knew the mantra written on the tulsi leaf was identical with the 3rd seed mantra he had dreamt of. He asked me for verification. I confirmed this. His face lit up with inner joy. There now remained the 2 seed mantras written on 2 bay leaves. So far, this body had no khayal who should be the recipients of these. But when Bishu had been given the tulsi leaf, then this body had the khayal that Mona Baba, Shri Manmohan Ghosh, who had been the architect of the new temple, should be presented with a bay leaf. So he was called and one of the bay leaves was handed over to him. There now remained one more bay leaf. Thereupon emerged another khayal, namely, if any uninitiated person should now approach this temple, it would be allotted to him or her. This may seem to you like a lottery. At that moment, I noticed that Gopal Baba's wife was standing just outside near a window. I called out to her, "Would not you like to come inside?" She at once entered the temple and did pranam to me. As she was going back, I asked Bishu, "Shall I give the bay leaf to her?" Bishu replied, "Very well. Why don't you?" 3 times I asked him the same question and each time he gave the same reply. So the bay leaf was presented to Gopal Baba's wife. This is what transpired on Guru Purnima day. Shri Shri Anandamayi Ma ki Jai.